Please rise. Hear ye, hear ye. The court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Mayor is now resigning.
You may be seated. Prosecution lawyers, please read your opening statement.
Hello, my name is Evie Crow. I believe the sorceress is guilty. Poor Rapunzel was kidnapped when a child and thrown in the tower far away from all mankind. Sweet little Rapunzel had no way to get down. The sorceress kept her locked away in the tower and finally abandoned her in the terrible woods. She was trapped in the awful and pitiful tower ever since she was a baby. The sorceress cut off Rapunzel's long flowing hair and blinded her poor love, the prince. The couple was finally united, but the sorceress was never caught for all of her cruelty. The prince was blinded and hurt when he fell from the tower. This is why I believe the sorceress is guilty. She kidnapped a child, stole Rapunzel, and Rapunzel's mother craved Rapunzel, the plant, so her husband stole it from the sorcerer's garden. The sorceress threatened to take the child. This is all why I believe the sorceress is guilty.
Defense lawyers, you may read your opening statement.
Hello, I am Macy Trezell, and I believe that the sorcerer has been continually wronged because, look, he is innocent. First off, Rapunzel's parents stole the Rapunzel from him first, and it was precious to him. It took him so long to grow. It was only fair that since they took something from him, he should take something back from them. Also, the man, who was Rapunzel's father, agreed to give the baby to the sorcerer. I speak the truth. It was agreed between the father and the sorcerer that the sorcerer could take the baby. This is why I believe that the sorcerer is innocent.
The prosecution now calls their first witness to the stand.
The prosecution now calls Haley Hoffman to the stand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
You may be seated.
Witness, please read your opening statement.
Good evening. I am Harry Hoffman, and I am here today to prove the sorceress guilty. I fit in this case as a witness because I am Rapunzel's 8th cousin, and I have seen what the sorcerer has done to her. And I'm very proud to be here to support Rapunzel against the evil sorcerer and help Rapunzel put this very evil sorcerer that sent the wolf that blew mine and my brother's house down behind bars. First of all, I watched the sorcerer steal Rapunzel from the young couple. He kept Rapunzel for many years and locked her up in a tower. Then when Rapunzel became in love with the prince and became pregnant, the sorcerer abandoned her in the forest, a couple miles from my house. The only reason I didn't try to help is because those woods were way too spooky. He also pretended to be Rapunzel and caused the prince to go blind. I have proven the sorceress kidnapped Rapunzel, locked her up for many years, then abandoned her in the forest. He also pretended to be her. The sorceress has committed kidnapping, identity theft, child abduction, and forcible detention. That is why I am proving the sorceress guilty.
Prosecution, you may begin questioning the witness.
Why were you in the woods watching Rapunzel?
I was at my brother's house drinking tea on the balcony when I saw the sorcerer kidnap Rapunzel.
Did you ever try to check on Rapunzel?
I went and looked for her in the woods, but I never found her.
Did you ever get to see her before she got taken away by the sorcerer?
No, nobody did, because it took so long for the messengers to come to your house and tell you that someone's been born.
How are you related to Rapunzel?
I am Rapunzel's 8th cousin because my great-grandfather married her great-grandmother.
Did you ever try to talk to Rapunzel's parents about where she might be?
Yes, but they never knew where that mean sorcerer took her.
How long was it until you found out Rapunzel was taken?
I found out right as she was born because her parents' castle was a mile away and I was able to spot the sorcerer kidnapping Rapunzel.
No further questions. Defense, you may question the prosecution's witness.
Would you please repeat how you know the Princess Rapunzel?
I am Rapunzel's 8th cousin because my grandfather married her great-grandmother. Great-grandfather married her great-grandmother.
Thank you. I would also like to ask, why are Rapunzel's parents not testifying when her father was the one who agreed to trade?
I have no idea. I don't know.
Thank you. Why is the sorcerer being charged with kidnapping when he agreed to trade with Rapunzel's father?
He's being,
Thank you. Could you please repeat that?
he is being,
I will repeat the question. Why is the sorcerer being charged with kidnapping when he agreed to trade the baby with Rapunzel's father?
he's being charged of kidnapping because he stole Rapunzel.
Thank you. It is said that the sorcerer treated the girl as his own. Do you agree with this?
No. I know I do not.
Thank you. And last of all, did Rapunzel's parents look for her?
No, they even sent out guards, but they never found her.
No further questions. The prosecution's witness may now be seated, and the prosecution may call their second witness to the stand.
The prosecution now calls Vanellope Von Sweets to the stand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
You may be seated.
Witness, please read your opening statement.
Hello, my name is Vanellope Von Sweets. I am here today because my cousin, Rapunzel Strokeheart, was stolen by the sorceress. Her mom called me at 12 a.m. in the morning. She was so worried about her sweet little girl. The next day, the prince came back saying he found Rapunzel locked up in a tall tower. The prince said he went around the tower 100 times and there was no door to be found. The prince stayed for a little bit longer, and the sorceress came and said, "Let down your hair." The prince said in a girl voice, "Let down your hair." So Rapunzel let down her hair. The prince climbed up her hair and stole Rapunzel to take her back to her mother. But the sorceress got the bag from the prince, and the sorceress grabbed the prince and kicked him out of the tower.
Prosecution, you may question your witness.
Did you ever talk to Rapunzel?
No, because I could only see her. I was racing my car around the castle. I was racing my car at 12 a.m. when I saw the sorceress kidnap Rapunzel. The sorceress locked her up in a tall tower.
How are you related to Rapunzel?
I am her third cousin by mine, great aunt being Rapunzel's great grandmother.
Did you ever try to help her or search for Rapunzel?
Yes, I tried once or twice, but I failed on it. The first time I looked for her, I took the king and the queen, but the sorceress kept us away from her. The second time I took the king, queen, the guards, and the prince, and the sorceress still kept us away from Rapunzel.
When Rapunzel was abandoned, did you ever try to search or help her?
Yes, I tried, but the sorceress told me to climb the wall, so I tried and I did not get to the top.
Did you ever try to help Rapunzel get down?
Yes, I tried to get Rapunzel down, but I failed to climb the wall.
Did you meet the prince before he met Rapunzel?
I knew the prince from my mother dating him, but when she broke up with him, he was very lonely. So we became best friends.
Did you ever tell Rapunzel's parents to send out guards to look for Rapunzel and help her?
Yes, I tried to, but the sorceress always stopped the guards from coming.
No further questions. Defense, you may question the prosecution's witness.
What was the weather like when you saw the sorcerer with the baby?
It was nice and cold and hot sometimes, but it was really sad seeing her get kidnapped.
Were you sure that you saw the sorcerer with the baby?
Yes, like I said, I was racing around the castle when the sorceress kidnapped Rapunzel.
Were you also sure that it wasn't the Muffin Man?
Yes, I was really sure. I saw him with his cape on, and it looked like the sorceress.
How long did it take for them to tell the police?
It took about a whole entire week, but the mother said, if she is not back in a week, I'm calling all the police.
No further questions. The prosecution now calls their third witness to the stand.
The prosecution now calls Rapunzel Strokehart to the stand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
You may be seated.
Witness, please read your opening statement.
Hello, I'm Rapunzel Strokehart, and I'm here today because this sorceress took me as a baby and never let me leave. She has kept me in a tower my whole life. She cut off my hair and even pretended to be me. The sorceress abandoned me in the woods. The worst thing she did was blinding the prince. She told me that the world was a dangerous place. I now know I shouldn't have been afraid of the world. I should have been afraid of her. I know she is guilty because she has lied to me my whole life about everything, including telling me she was my mother. And like I said before, she said the world was a dangerous place. And that's just to name a few. The part that stings just a little more than the rest is that I actually fell for it. I mean, come on, I'm nothing like her. I would never commit child abduction, blind someone, abandon someone, hold someone captive, or anything else illegal. Unlike her, by the way, she did all these things, plus more. Thank you for your time, and I hope you find her guilty.
Prosecution, you may now question your witness.
Did you know any of the crimes your guardian committed?
No, the evil sorceress was committing crimes behind my back. I didn't know about any crimes just until the other day. Now that I know, I believe she is definitely evil.
Were you treated poorly?
Well, I was fed and she gave me water, but she kept me locked in a tower my whole life. Lately, I was obviously treated poorly, but not really in the past. I mean, I was not unhealthy, just lonely, stuck in a tower.
Did she harm you when you were abandoned in the woods?
No, she just left me there alone. She didn't harm me, but she just abandoned me. I was just sitting there, all alone, feeling broken.
Did you ever know you were a princess?
No, I didn't know I was a princess. She kept that from me, too. I didn't know because she never let me leave the tower.
Did you ever know your parents?
Well, I do remember once when I was a baby, my mom was laying me in the crib one night. That night was when the sorceress choked me, I do believe. That's the only memory of my parents, though.
Were you ever harmed in the tower?
I thought I was being treated fine until I saw the outside world. Other families were drinking hot chocolate together by the fire. That is not how I was treated.
No further questions. Defense, you may question their witness.
What was it like when you were stolen as a baby?
Well, obviously I was a little frightened because obviously I was a baby and I was being stolen, so.
Any further questions? Witness, you may be seated.
I have some more questions. Do you have any idea how the prince was blinded?
Well, I do believe that the sorceress threw him out of the tower, and when he landed on the ground, he was blinded.
When you saw him again, how did you make him able to see?
Well, I don't really, it's just happened.
Thank you. That's all the questions I have.
Witness, you may be seated.
The defense now calls Beckett Ralph to the stand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
You may be seated.
Witness, read your opening statement.
Hello, my name is Wreck-It Ralph. I am in this because the sorcerer is my brother and I lost him when I was little. He is being wrongfully accused. He didn't even do anything. They just want him in jail. But the first problem is when they stole Rapunzel out of his garden, so they should be the ones who were punished. But I know this because I was walking through the woods with Riding Hood and saw my brother walking in the tower, and then he came out. And then I told him who I was, and then he said he remembered me. So then I told him I saw some people stealing stuff out of his garden. And I asked him if he let him get stuff out of the garden, and he said no. Then I told him to put on his invisible cloak and hide and catch him, and he caught him. To make them pay, he made a fair trade. They ate a lot of servings of Rapunzel for one baby. It's a fair trade.
Defense, you may question your witness.
Are you positive, Wreck-It Ralph, that you saw Rapunzel's father stealing?
Yes. He climbed the fence, pulled it up out of the ground, and then jumped over it again, and pulled himself over it again and gave it to his wife. Wait, yeah.
Why did you tell the sorcerer of the man who was stealing into the garden?
Because I would hate to see my brother get something stolen from him. And I didn't think the sorcerer, my brother, knew the man. Neither did I think he was granted permission to be in the garden.
How many baskets of Rapunzel was taken by the man?
All I saw is that he had 3 baskets each time, and he went down twice. That's when I was there, though.
Thank you. Did you not stop him? Why did you not stop the man from stealing?
Well, I almost did. However, Red Riding Hood explained to me, she said that we should go to my brother first.
Thank you. And where was Rapunzel's mother when she ate the Rapunzel?
She was in the house. I knew that because I saw. What? Wait, wrong thing. What? Please read that again.
Where was Rapunzel's mother when she ate the Rapunzel?
She was sitting beside a tree in the woods.
Thank you. Those are all the questions.
Prosecution, you may now question their witness.
Do you know why the sorceress cut Rapunzel's hair off?
No, I do not.
If you saw the fall, why were you on the sorceress's side?
I did not see the fall. I told the sorceress that I saw a man stealing out of the garden, and then I left the next day.
Do you know why the sorceress kept Rapunzel away from the prince?
Well, they made a fair trade that the sorceress could keep her, so he kept her away from people, so it should be fair because it's his child.
Do you know why the sorceress kept Rapunzel away from mankind?
No, really didn't. The prince was still seeing her, so he tried to keep her away, but he was really seeing people, the prince and the sorceress every day, so still seeing people.
Why didn't you try to stop the sorceress when you saw her committing crimes?
What? Say that again.
Why didn't you try to stop the sorceress when you saw her committing crimes?
I did not see the sorceress commit any crimes. He just took the baby. It was a fair trade because they stole something out of his garden.
No further questions.
Witness, you may be seated.
The defense now calls Red Riding Hood to the stand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
You may be seated.
Please read your opening statement.
Hi, I'm Red Riding Hood. I'm in this because the sorcerer is my cousin. I believe the sorcerer is innocent because Rapunzel's parents were the ones who stole the Rapunzel from the garden. It was only right for the sorcerer to take something from the parents because they took something from him. They weren't even supposed to be in the garden. I was with Wreck-It Ralph and we were going to visit the sorcerer, and I saw this man I didn't know, and it turned out to be Rapunzel's father. So me and Wreck-It Ralph told the sorcerer the man was climbing down his wall into the garden to get Rapunzel. Then the sorcerer came down and made a deal. When the child was born, he would get the child because Rapunzel's parents took a lot of his stuff from his garden. So the sorcerer was innocent because Rapunzel's parents didn't have to say yes to the deal. The sorcerer is innocent.
Defense, you may question your witness.
Red Riding Hood, do you promise you were there at the time?
Yes, I clearly saw Rapunzel's father climbing down the wall into the garden. Then I saw him climb back up with Rapunzel from the garden. I remember every part of it. Everybody knows not to go into the garden.
Thank you. Why did you go onto the sorcerer's land in the first place?
Wreck-It Ralph and I were going to the sorcerer for a family reunion. Nobody trusts a sorcerer to drive a car. On the way, there we saw a man climbing down into the garden, so we told the sorcerer.
Thank you. Why didn't you stop him? Was it for the same reason that Wreck-It Ralph did?
Yes, because I didn't stop him because he may have had permission from my cousin. That's why I went to my cousin before telling him to stop. I wanted to be sure that I was all right and fair. I'm sure you've done the same thing.
I would have. Did you give the sorcerer the idea of taking something back from the stroke cards since they took something from him?
Yes, I did. I didn't think it was fair that something was taken from my cousin. Therefore, I thought he should be asked something from them. That is why I suggested it, and I do believe that is the right thing to do.
As do I. Now, where were you watching from?
I was watching from the edge of the woods. From there, the garden was in front of me. Wreck-It Ralph was there too.
Thank you. Those are all the questions I have.
Prosecution, you may question the defense's witness.
Did you ever see the sorcerer committing any crimes?
No, I did not.
Do you know why the sorcerer cut Rapunzel's hair?
No.
Why did the sorceress want Rapunzel in the first place?
Because the Rapunzel's parents took Rapunzel from the sorcerer's garden, so it was just a fair trade that he got the child.
Were you in any of the sorcerer's? Were you included when the sorcerer took the baby?
No, I was not. We just went on to the reunion and we let the sorcerer take care of it.
If you saw the fall, did you see the fall?
No, I did not.
No further questions.
You may be seated.
The defense now calls Joseph Joni to the stand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
You may be seated.
You may read your opening statement.
Hello, my name is Joseph Jones, and I am innocent because her father was stealing food from my garden. So they had to give me something for Masters of Rapunzel in return. It was the third day of stealing the plant. He said his wife was having a dire craving, but you can't die from not eating a different food. You could eat for not eating, though. But anyways, he stole so much it was equal to a child. So he made a deal for him to keep all the Rapunzel he stole for his unborn child. So I came back and finished the deal when she was born. I did no harm to her at all. I cared for her, and she had no charges. She had no reason to be mad enough to press charges, and this is why I, Joseph Jones, am completely innocent.
Defense, you may question your witness.
Did Rapunzel's father promise to give you his baby daughter if you let him have the Rapunzel?
Yes, he did. Yes, he did promise that. He also said his wife was having a dire craving for Rapunzel. That is the rest of the promise.
Was the garden easy to get into?
It was not. It had no door, the walls were very high. The easiest entrance was the castle window, which was very high.
Would the king have had to climb the wall to get inside the garden?
No, he gathered ropes. Then he threw one half of the rope out the window and one half attached to the window. Then he climbed down.
How did the king get inside? Did you watch him?
He got inside by a rope. On the third time, but Wreck-It Ralph and Red Riding Hood told me the first 2 times, and the third time I saw him.
How did you know that the king was taking the Rapunzel?
Wreck-It Ralph and Little Red Riding Hood would told me, and on the third time I saw him.
No further questions.
Prosecution, you may now question the witness.
Why were you so stern about the garden?
Because it had a bunch of valuable vegetables and fruits inside of it.
Did you ever think about harming Rapunzel before you pushed her off the tower?
No, I did not.
When the king took the Rapunzel flower, why did you want Rapunzel, not something else?
Because, again, he was a tons of Rapunzel, and it was enough to equal a child.
If you were ever going to let Rapunzel go, when did you plan on doing it?
I planned on doing it when she was when she was strong enough to take on the world.
Why did you want Rapunzel in the first place?
I did not. His father offered her for all the Rapunzel.
No further questions. Witness, you may be seated. Court is now adjourned for jury's deliberation.